So we start on Yom Kippur, standing in the tragic gap, identifying ourselves as avaryanim, transgressors, or hyperliterally, people who cross boundaries, straddle the divide. And we invite our flawed selves in, and then we chant Kol Nidre. And then the liturgy does something that's a little weird, right? It's back on page 205 if you want to look. In the very next line, we cut ourselves a break. The whole community of Israel will be forgiven, we and the strangers who reside with us, because really, all our sins were errors. Mistakes were made, right? It's a quote from Numbers 15, taken completely, totally out of context. And then, right, we ask it for forgiveness, and then right away we quote God, I have forgiven according to your word, and we recite Shachianu, right? Well, that was quick. I mean, we're only on page 2, right? And already it was a mistake, and we're forgiven. Isn't that kind of letting us off the hook a little easily? And partly, yes, right? There is genuine malevolence, evil in the world. Every single heart is capable of it. Fortunately, not all of us act on it, and that's a major difference, right? We have to be careful to avoid false equivalencies. Not everything can or should be compassionately characterized as error. Remember, though, as we said at the very beginning while the scrolls were going around, God forgives, Yom Kippur atones only for sins against God. If we've hurt other people, Yom Kippur does nothing. And even God has no power to forgive, unless we first made things right with the people we've hurt, right? So that salachti kidvarecha, I've forgiven according to your word, doesn't apply if we've hurt someone else. But I think in other ways too, this isn't about letting ourselves off easy, nor is it merely kind of an anticipation of forgiveness to come. I think it's there to change our relationship with our own fallibility. It is giving us permission to own the fullness of our humanity, misdeeds, mixed motives, character flaws, and all. Because paradoxically, there's nothing inherently wrong with doing wrong. The particular thing, the deed we did, the words we spoke, our negative character traits and patterns of behavior, yes, they're wrong. But the fact that we do wrong is normal. To err, to sin, is human. What's most wrong is pretending we don't. Remember Parker Palmer, we looked at on Rosh Hashanah. He said, given human nature and the nature of politics, there will always be people with whom dialogue is impossible, and on some days I am one of them. Right? We all are. This is the meaning of the classic image, the Midrash, about the 3 books that are open on Rosh Hashanah and sealed on Yom Kippur. One for the completely wicked, and one for the completely righteous, and one for the Beinonim, the middling folk, all of us who do wrong and also have the capacity to do better. And per the Talmud, right, this recognition is the basic halachic requirement of confession. Right? The basic requirement that fulfills our obligation is we are neither so arrogant nor so stiff-necked to say that we are righteous without sin. Aval anachnu chatanu, we have sinned. Right? And if you think you've got this one nailed, think again. You're upset with someone you really care about and you tell them. Or they're angry or upset with you and they raise it. And now you're in an argument. On average, right? Sometimes it's easy. We all know that. But on average, how long does it take before you're able to say, yes, you're right, I was wrong? 5 minutes? 2 hours? Overnight? How about never? Is never good for you? Right? It's actually not so easy to claim our membership in the Avaryanim Club. So yes, Yom Kippur is about confronting and accepting mortality and integrating that into our self-image. Life is short. We are not forever. And it's about confronting and accepting our own dark side and integrating that into our self-image. Not so that, chas v'shalom, we stop aspiring, but so that we stop telling ourselves, I should have gotten everything right in the first place, so that we can aspire. I have forgiven according to your word, right at the beginning of the service, comes to say, it's okay. I've already forgiven you for being human. You can forgive yourself too. Now, get to work on doing better, especially with the people you hurt. Fortunately, we're in good company. We all do it together. We will be turning now to the selichot service, our penitential prayers and confessions, the core of the Yom Kippur liturgy. We'll begin up front this year with the anti-Ashamnu. It's fun and funny, a little bit of self-mockery. Humor is enormously helpful in owning our foibles and fallibility. Usually when we do this, and it's on the blue sheets that you have and that were online to print out, the Yom Kippur supplement. Usually I frame this as getting all the excuses out of the way so that we can really get serious and confess in earnest. And that's a piece of it. But this year, as we laugh along with ourselves, I invite us also to offer ourselves a healthy dose of compassion. All excuses aside, it's been a hard year.